Hello YouTube. Today a video discussing weak points, and in this edition we're talking lats. We're only going to be focusing on the lats. This is the first edition of a series of videos that are going to focus on the weak points of my body and the ways I found to finally make them grow. There will also be videos about every single body part, but they will not be focused on my personal experience of them. Rather, they will be just discussing the way I made them grow because I could. The ones I'm talking in the Weak Point Wednesday series are going to be the ones that I'm struggling with and that I'm trying to strategize around. So as far as the lats go, I thought for a very long time that I had bad insertions. I thought I had very high insertions, and I was basically telling myself that to cope with the fact that I had no lats. Because the rest of my back was pretty big, but my lats never grew. And it's because I fell for the meme of you only need pulls to grow your lats. You only need rows to grow your lats. So I was doing deadlifts and I was doing rows and my lats weren't growing. And I was wondering why. And eventually I started doing some cable pulls, vertical pulls, and it still didn't really grow my lats. And at this point I convinced myself I just had bad genetics, which wasn't the case. I found out recently because my lats are growing, and not only are they growing, they're growing fast, and they're actually very vascular, which is interesting. I have very big veins on my lats. And the way I did it was I focus on vertical pulls, but not machines. I found that the moment arm of the machine and the way the weight is being pulled, if you have a very strong middle back, you're going to pull with your middle back. You're not going to really pull with the lats. And I found too that lots of machines don't let you get in a position that really stretches the lats. Because when you stretch, when you're on a pull-up bar, you're underneath the bar, retracted with your scapula, and you're here. So the bar is basically right in line with your collarbones. You're not away from the bar and pulling like this. And most cable machines that I used were like this, where the pad where I sat was far away from the thing. So I was doing movements in front of me. So I was never really working my lats, and I found that recently. So pull-ups are my best friends. Certain types of grips work my lats better. I find that nothing works my lats better than a wide grip pull-up with a normal grip. A close second would be a neutral grip, wild, and then a supinated grip, wide. And then all of the close grips for me, because I'm so narrow, I feel a lot of mid-back, which is why I don't do too much of them. The one that I like a lot is the close grip with supinated, because I really feel my lats on it. But outside of that, the other two I don't really specialize in, which is the neutral and the close grip with a normal grip. So that's pull-ups. And when I say I do a ton of pull-ups, I have high volume pull-up days where I will be doing around 100 to 120 pull-ups with body weight. And the lower volume days, I will be doing 30 to 40 pull-ups. And I do that every day, meaning there's always a moment during my training where I'm hanging from a bar. The reason why I do that is because A, pull-ups don't tax your CNS. If you do them correctly, meaning with your back, they're not supposed to hurt your wrist or elbows or shoulders. You're not supposed to feel any type of tendon pains from them. And your upper back recovers super fast. If there's one thing I've noticed with lats is that they do get sore, but it never lasts. And they're always ready to work, always. And a lat injury, detaching your lat, I've never heard of a natural getting that type of injury. It's the type of injury like quad tears that only people who do PEDs get, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. So I do a ton of pull-ups, and for my heavy work, I do certain movements that I find really work the lats for me. So I really like snatch grip, pen lay rows. I used to do Penley rows with a lot of weight and a normal grip, and I could go up to 235, 245 strict, and I never felt my lats, ever. I felt my real delt, I felt my traps, I never felt my lats. And when I switched to a wide grip, I had to reduce the weight, but touching my sternum on every rep and really flexing the lower back made me feel my lats so much more. I actually feel like I'm pulling with my lats. So that's one movement I like. But the issue with the movement is that there is no stretch at the bottom. And I think that the weighted stretch for lats is very important. So I do cone rows. I do cheat rows with super heavy weight, and I let the bar just stretch at the bottom and then pull it up. That's my bread and butter for heavy lat movement. Outside of that, for lats, I do a ton of pullovers, and it works sort of in unison with the pull-ups. On days where I do less pull-ups, I will do more pullovers and vice versa. I do them with 30 pounds, super lightweight, and I focus on the connection with the lats. I focus on that stretch. I find too that I have much better connection with my right lat than my left, so I'm trying to work around that. And with the hand position on the dumbbell, I can really play around with that. So I do tons of that, and then I have one day where I go heavy on the dumbbell pullovers, and I do 60 pounds for like 12 reps for a total of usually 50 to 60 reps. And that's where I really go heavy on the movement. But that's pretty much the extent of my lat work. I don't have machines in there, so I'm not doing any pull downs or stuff like that. And as far as, in my opinion, the best movement for lat hypertrophy, it would be the Yates row. What I found with the Yates row, and my issue with it, is that to really feel the lower lats, you need to do them supinated, and I'm just not willing to risk that. I will make videos about the supinated grip on rows. I think it's not safe. I think if you want to really get lat hypertrophy from it, you need to let it stretch at the bottom, and that stretch is also going to be experienced by your biceps, and your biceps are much less resilient than your upper back. So if something gives, it's going to be your bicep. So I'm trying to figure out something. I'm doing Yates row right now. I'm trying to figure out an angle where I can do them with both hands over and still feel them in the lats, but so far I didn't have much success in that. But all of the other implements I'm using work fine. So if you have weak points in the same area in lats, I advise you to do that. I will be making more videos about lats and ways to train them, but that's what I'm doing right now. So if you see any type of differences in my lats, it's coming from these lifts. Thank you for watching. I will be making other videos about my weak points and body parts. Thank you. Have a good day.